gives a strange, dangerous air. When you look at it, something seems to be also gazing at you.
Conflicts carry the weight of both honor.
I can hardly get what I open. Why don't you tell me what...
Reflect on your wrongs in the torrents of steel! Reflect on your wrongs in the torrents of steel! Conflicts carry the weight of both honor and shame. Well done, buddy! Hey, a machine also needs to rest. Enjoy this moment. The champion deserves the honor. Reflect on your wrongs in the torrents of steel! You are the worst student I have ever had!
The code is deadly. Desire brings destruction. Yes, the code will not let your efforts go in vain. The code is dead for you.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Torchlight Infinite video. Today bringing an update on the latest developments on the moto spider tank builds.
Gives a strange,
Lots of changes actually. So let's go over the gear that we're using right now. Helmet, field mana. This mod I'm trying it for additional survivability. The build right now is fairly tanky for the most part, but every now and then I still die in T8. I'm trying to make it so I cannot die during regular mapping. I haven't been able to hit that by any means. Still using the Mere Eternity. I got a +1 active skill level. Still over the 65k armor to get the additional life recovery, but even with that, it's at 1.3, which is good enough, but you know, sometimes we stagger a lot of damage through injury buffer to the point where I end up dying from the degens. So I'm still torn whether it will just be better to use a regular crafted armor with, you know, resistances, aura effect, max resistance. I realized that this type of armor can also roll the mod to armor effective for non-physical damage. which, you know, is half, if is half of the other mod, but I think this tier 0 is the same as the Mirror Eternity. So this might end up being better than using the other one. I'll lose on the recovery speed, but I can just get some regen here to make up for that, and I can end up with actually more life than the other one. Or, you know, plus active skill level, lots of options on a crafted chest. But for now, still using the Mirror Eternity. The +2, I only need a +1, but I needed this to cover the resistances. That's why I kept using this amulet. Also, the seal mana, I need it because of the setup that I'm doing right now. Gloves, I think I upgraded this a little bit. More erosion res, more life, more armor. But overall, you know, gloves are your pure defensive slot because there is nothing here for minion damage, at least for elemental minion damage. So yeah, might as well just go for full defense here. Then still using the Winter of Origin. It's too good. I tried the crafted build. I have an insanely good crafted build, this one, with command, and it comes somewhat close, but not as close, to be honest. Now, Winter of Origin, something like this is like 600 FE. You can make these for much cheaper, and the damage, it's, you know, I think Winter of Origin has higher potential because you can get sources of additional focus blessings to increase its damage further. But otherwise, I think this could be better, good as well. Mind Infusion, because I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with the boots. There are very interesting options, such as there's a mod on the boots, Deflection. Deflection is very strong. On the energy shield boots, you can get 2 additional focus blessings, which is basically 12% additional damage for minions as well. So those are the options. But for now, I think, you know, Mind Infusion, you don't really need to worry too much about switching out. In terms of the ring, I bought a graceful ring. I wanted to get more life because I was at like 3.6, 3.7. Now I'm hovering at 4.7 by 5k, depending on the gear swaps I make. But for now, I'm doing this. So just live, curse effect, LA res, erosion res, and this one for the command. I switched back into command, and damage gain, I think it was worth making the swap to it. I bought the Fellworld Desire, just a corroded one, because right now it's very expensive. Again, the corrosion you want is this one, which is the multi-strike deals additional damage. And getting a double corrode of these 2 mods is the GG. You know, getting higher fizz is also good. So lots of options to upgrade this one. And with the shield, I still haven't crafted a +2 active skills. So right now, the best offensive option I could get here is Aura Effect with Aegis Aura Effect and getting Aeterna res. So I'm at 78 right now, pretty good. What else? Here, I think that's all. Okay, setup. Candle. This one, I don't know if I was using something like this, but you know, more sealed mana. And this mod is very, very strong. Okay, I didn't realize this was the reason I was dying with the Resurrection Warcry, I guess. Okay, so 3% aura effect for every ally affected by aura. We are, I think, I don't know if this counts you as an ally affected by the aura. If that's the case, that's a total of 9 allies times 3. That is 27% aura effect. Pretty good. You know, aura effect is a multiplicative modifier, so the more you can get, especially with how many auras I'm running, it's better. I'm doing Electrocute. You know, curses are too high of a modifier to ignore. Abysmal Hatred, the Reign of Malice, to make it an aura. And cost conversion, because I'm toying around with the available mana. So since Mind Infusion increased the mana cost, is just nice to have this cost conversion here. Otherwise, I can use extended duration, cooldown reduction, any of those work. Elemental Shock. When playing on the phone, use Rhythm. When playing against bosses or content that matters, use Mania and CDR or extended duration, either. Spider Tanks. I was trying with Projectile Pen, but seems to me like Jump is a little bit better, especially with me having I dropped this precise projectiles doing a T8 boss. Fairly lucky, I would say. But with this, you know, sometimes they fire 2 additional proj, so that's why I removed the additional proj. And with Jump, even if they fire 1, they're still getting 2 hits on enemies. So, you know, 6 spider tanks, each of them hitting 2 enemies at a time. I think it's good enough for clear, and sometimes they fire 2 additional projectiles, which pretty much just destroy the rest of the screen. Recklessness, again, because of the low life mod. Crit damage, basically best in slot, very high multiplier. Multi-strike, not really anything that could be better than the support here. And lots of options here as the 6 ones. Wind projectiles is good. You could use Mark in the main link. I'm using the spirits for Mark, but you could use it here. Definitely not mechanical mod. Now that I'm going back to commands, there could be an argument if I manage to get to a League 60 to use Maniacal Army. Could be an option. I don't know if attack focus works on minions. I don't think tempo works. Pen is good for clear, and it also gives a little bit of damage. Crit rate is not really good, and the other one will probably be high voltage for the additional shock chance. But I think wind proj is better, and slow proj for single target is also good. Link for mobility. Machine army still, it's just too good, too much damage. So precise of the defense with protection field. I have toyed around using several defensive spells here. Now, basically to summarize, what is good, what might be better in certain situations. So, with the current levels I have, protection field is 23% damage that I'm not taking at all, that the minions are taking. So that is 23% of any type of damage. DOTs, erosion damage, elemental damage, physical damage, everything, 23% reduction. Frost shield is high reduction, but it's only physical and frost. Aegis of fire, I think block is bad. I don't really see block doing a whole lot, even at 100% chance. So I think Aegis of Fire is gonna be needs a little bit more love for it to be made better. I think the block ratio needs to be increased to at least, I don't know, maybe 50% by default, or they should add more ways for you to recover from using block, other than, you know, just reducing. So because right now the baseline value of block is 30%, so you have to invest a lot to get a chance to reduce damage by 30%, whereas, you know, Frost Shield is just 25 without having to invest lots into block and actually having to use a shield. That's why Aegis of Fire is not good. Delayed Pain is very good, but I don't have the recovery to sustain 35% injury buffer. So this actually end up killing me more often than not. Reform might be good now that I have the barrier on hit mod, but I still think protection field comes on top. Stone Skin is just, it's like barrier, but it absorbs 68% of damage. Defensive buffer is good because it's 15%, but again it's elemental and physical, so we're missing the erosion damage, and since I don't have Tenacity Blessings, I don't get the extra effect from this. Prayer is for minions. I don't want my minions to heal, so that's why we're not using that. Force start is probably the best one if you have ES combined with defensive layers. Basically gives you it turns your defensive skill into a recovery skill as well, which is what I don't have room right now for. And since I have this candle, actually using a recovery skill makes me take damage, so it's not great to have it either. So I'll still rely on regen instead. Now I switched the aura setup. I was using 2 5 links here, but I realized that was kind of silly because I could use that to turn this into a 6 link, and I added erosion enhancement, which is this erosion damage doesn't matter because we don't do erosion damage, but this part matters. Additional damage applied to life. This is basically 30% additional damage multiplied by all of our aura effect. And since they have it in a selfless, none of these apply to me. It doesn't matter that they don't, because I don't do damage. Only the minions do. In an ideal scenario, I would have enough field mana reduction to add stand as 1 here and get all of the aura effect for this. So this will be, I think stand as 1 goes up to 5%. If I recall correctly, and that is 4 times. That'll be a lot of aura effect, very strong for damage, but not quite there yet. Still, remarkable being able to hold all of these reservation on life only without us using seal conversion, which was my goal. Okay. Passive tree is still using the same Blade Runner, still banging Garden Machines. I have moved things around a little bit, like now I have a little bit more cooldown here. I dropped a little bit of the regen speed to move more into capping erosion rest with this tree. This is just too good. This is mandatory. And in Blade Runner, I just have the extra shock chance that I don't really know if this is too much damage and if it's worth it at all getting it, but it's there. In the statue, here's where I think I made the most changes. I dropped this corner, which is insane because it has 2 working mods for the build, plus one of those skills works for any build, and lightning pen for the minions. I bought this for the to go back into command. I scrapped command because I didn't think I had enough to keep it at an acceptable level, but then I came back and read what command does, and this is a damage multiplier as well. And I thought it was 1% per command, but it's 2% additional damage per command. So even at 20, it's pretty good. Pretty good to have it. So that's why I went back to it. I don't have any of the command gains here, sadly. I want to get them. I actually want to get like 4 of these up here. Getting each one touching each other. That sounds weird, but the idea is that each and every one of them will affect the other's talents, making it way higher. And then what I could use is something like I have this other pedigree. I don't have it in the inventory. It's the Chaotic Realm pedigree. There are two pedigrees that could be used here. One fixes your order. This one, Silent Realm. This fixes order at 50. So you have 50 order, 50 chaos, and increases both effects. I think this has the potential for the most damage, because what I would do then is get a bunch of additional minion damage per order, and then get a bunch of command per chaos, and use them both together. I think this has the potential to make a very insane setup, but again, it requires to actually get those plates. The other one is this one, where you just accelerate very high, very fast into chaos, and it also increases the chaos effect by the same value as Silent Realm. but you know, you'll be at 100 most of the time. So I'll be getting much more command from that. And if I can sustain about 60 to 80 command, I could switch into the command amulet, or maybe try the green phantoms again. But again, that's gonna take a while to get there. So for the time being, I'm using this burning aggression one, which gives me command against bosses, and it has the conversion. Then, you know, +1 synth troop here, +1 synth troop here. This one I bought it for the sealed mana, and I ended up getting like these two defensive mods. So I guess it's decent. This is just okay. This barrier on severe injury is actually a very nice mod. And here, more armor, sealed mana, and erosion, rest, and life. So you saw the clear showcase. Maybe you're wondering how much better than the previous setup. So, you know, again, take this with a grain of salt, because the dummy likes to show you very different results oftentimes. So what I'll do is, now that I have the spiders actually out, so that's what we're hovering at, right? It's there. It's getting higher. This damage is more than enough for T8 clearing. So full juicing for T8 1, not T8 2, nor 3, nor 4, just T8 1. Do cities for tons of currency. Upgrades. Then I dropped this today. I'm still debating whether I'm gonna be using it. Is this more damage than this? Yes. A decent amount more damage than a crafted helmet. But what my thought process with the crafted helmet right now is the following. Aura effect scales my damage and my defense. It also gives me movement speed because I'm using swiftness aura. So this mod alone makes it worthwhile for me to run a crafted helmet. Also, I won't be forcing to switch into energy shield, because I can use whatever base I want. Another mod that I could take is additional damage dealt by nearby enemies, or, you know, minion double damage, which is another very good mod. Is ideally what will be here. Additional armor to be able to keep about 65 and maybe above. As you can see, I'm at 65 with this 11, and this can go up to 15 at tier 1. More life or regen. I still can get the seal mana without the crown. So I think there's a lot of value into playing with a crafted helmet instead of the Fiend Crown. But, you know, ultimately, if all you care about is damage, then Fiend Crown, of course, is going to be best in slot. Oh, relics. Haven't changed this one because I haven't seen any. I'm actually going to do a check now. So what we're looking is overload. On type. It will be overload gives pen and overload for minions. Those are the two. And as you can see, they are fairly expensive. That's why I haven't updated this one. Also, these don't show that often here. And I haven't dropped one doing pirates. I don't know how to make pirates work. I think pirates suck. But that's a topic for another time. So in the meantime, I switch back to command generation. I need to get a +1 here and more movement speed. This is not gonna change anytime soon. So yeah, let me know if you play moto, if you're playing a bit like this. What do you think about the the general state of the character. Do you have any suggestions or any other obscure mechanics that could be used to scale damage or defense? Is it better to use a two-handed weapon instead of the firewall and shield? I doubt, but it'll be interesting to see if there is another setup that could be done here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a blast with the Torchlight season, and I'll see you on the next one.